MMA Boxing Talk here. This is a prediction video for Jose Aldo versus Max Holloway. It's going down this weekend, and I am so pumped for this fight. I love this matchup. You got Jose Aldo, who is the greatest featherweight champion of all time, a guy that had went on an 18 fight win streak in MMA. That's unheard of. On the other hand, you got Max Holloway, who's a young kid, 25 years old, tearing through this featherweight division. He's on a 10 fight win streak, all in the UFC. There's not too many guys who have ever had more than 10 fight win streaks in the UFC. John Jones, Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, and Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson are the only four people to have more than 10 fight win streak in the UFC. So that Max Holloway's in great company there. And just look at Max Holloway's last 5 fights, the guys he's beat. Anthony Pettis, Ricardo Lamas, Jeremy Stevens, Charles Oliveira, and Cub Swanson. Very, very impressive resume that Max Holloway has. Now, I'm going to be honest. I am picking Max Holloway to win this fight. I think he has what it takes to defeat Jose Aldo. But I want to make something clear. Jose Aldo is still at the top of his game. He's still very much elite. You don't beat a Frankie Edgar in the manner of which he did last summer. Let's not forget, Frankie Edgar was on a heck of a tear. Jose Aldo went in there and dominated him. If that's proof, that performance was proof that Aldo is still at the top of his game. He's still very much elite. So this is going to be a great fight. But I am going with Holloway, and for many reasons. For one, Holloway has been way more active lately. If you go back to the beginning of 2014, so the last 3.5 years, Aldo has only fought 4 times in the last 3.5 years. Max Holloway has fought 10 times in the last 3.5 years. So obviously Max Holloway is going to be the sharper, more active fighter, and that could play a factor in this fight. It very well could. It's certainly not going to hurt Max Holloway, that's for sure. Now, Max Holloway, obviously a lot taller than Jose Aldo. He's 4 inches taller. Aldo has a 1-inch reach advantage, but I don't really put too much stock into that because Aldo's going to have to be, punching upward. If he wants to land upstairs on Holloway, he's going to have to be punching upward, and that is going to be difficult. I think it's very key for Aldo to establish the leg kicks very early on. That's his best chance of winning, in my opinion, to establish those leg kicks, to limit the movement of Max Holloway. Max Holloway, he has great footwork, great mobility, and if that is at all, if that changes at all, if Max Holloway has less movement in there, and he can't do what he normally does, that's going to be a huge advantage to Aldo. So the leg kicks are important, but I personally believe that Holloway is a bad matchup for Aldo, and I'll tell you why. Because Aldo, when he's at his best, he is controlling the fight, and not only that, but he controls the pace of the fight. When Aldo's at his best, he controls the pace of the fight, and Max Holloway fights at a very, very high pace. Max Holloway lands 5.6 significant strikes per minute. That's a lot. Aldo lands 3.2. Now, of course, Max Holloway might not be able to land 5.6 significant strikes per minute against Jose Aldo. You know what I mean? But he has the higher work rate by far. And Max Holloway he's gonna put the pressure on Jose Aldo. He's gonna make him work. And Jose Aldo, he's not at his best when he's in a dogfight. When he's in a back and forth war, that's not where Jose Aldo excels. Still very good, still very dangerous, but that's not when he's at his best. Look at the Chad Mendes fight. When Aldo was pushed and pushed, he got hit a lot. He got hurt a lot. He got dropped in that fight. That was a very, very close fight, in my opinion. Literally could have been a draw. It could have went to Chad Mendes. It was so close. Aldo does not want to get into this dogfight with Max Holloway. I think, it would favor Holloway tremendously. It's for one, it's not the way Aldo likes to fight in a dogfight. Max Holloway is the younger guy, and in my opinion, he's got better cardio, and I know Aldo has been 5 rounds before, and Holloway has not. But I do believe that Holloway, when you watch him in his fights, I mean, he never coasts. He never, gets a lead on the scorecards and then coasts and just does what he has to do. Aldo is known for just doing the bare minimum to win. And he's phenomenal, and he is, a tremendous fighter to watch. But that's the fact. That's the fact of the matter. Aldo does just enough to win, and I don't think that's going to be possible against Max Holloway. He's going to have to fight out of his character if he wants to beat Max Holloway. And I just think that Max Holloway is too versatile. He's too he's going to be awkward in there for Aldo as well. The way Max Holloway uses his footwork, the way Max Holloway changes his stance between combinations, I think that's going to give Aldo a lot of problems. I see this being a close fight in the early rounds, round 1 and 2. But once the championship rounds come, I really believe that Holloway is going to start breaking Aldo down, and Aldo is going to be suffocating with the pressure that Max Holloway is putting on. And Max Holloway is tremendous at making in-fight adjustments. And that's going to be key in this fight. As the fight goes on, we're going to see Holloway make those adjustments and continue to he's going to just, what I'm trying to say is Holloway, with these in-fight adjustments, as the fight goes on, he's going to be able to make a gap between him and Aldo. He's going to start taking off with this lead. He's going to start taking off in this fight, and I just really think that he's really going to have Aldo in serious trouble in the last 2 rounds, and I do believe that Max Holloway gets a 4th or 5th round TKO. That's my prediction. And like I said in the beginning of the fight, I'm not discrediting Aldo. He's a great fighter, but I think it's Max Holloway's time. It's very interesting because Max Holloway, he's been preparing for Aldo since he was 17 years old. Aldo, the greatest featherweight champion of all time, was a champion in the UFC or WEC before that. It's similar to the Cody Garbrandt Dominic Cruz, because Cody Garbrandt, a young kid coming up, had been preparing and visualizing a way to beat a Dominic Cruz for years since he was a teenager. Dominic Cruz, one of the greatest bantamweights of all time, just like Aldo, one of the greatest featherweights of all time. And it just seems very similar. And it was the perfect time for Cody Garbrandt. And I know not a lot of people were picking Cody Garbrandt to win that fight, but I'm just saying, when you've been preparing for a guy since you were 16, 17, 18 years old, you're the younger guy, you have the hunger, it goes a long way. And I think that Max Holloway is, like I said, I just think he's a bad matchup for Jose Aldo, because Jose Aldo likes to fight at his pace when he's most comfortable, just doing enough to win, and that won't be enough against Max Blessed Holloway. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I had to put this out there. I was a little longer than expected, but this is exactly how I feel. Let me know, who you're picking, and enjoy the fights on Saturday. Going to be amazing. And if Max Holloway can go into Brazil and take that belt from a legend like Jose Aldo, it's not going to surprise me, but it will be something for the history books. That's a legendary fight for both guys, in my opinion. Career defining for both guys, in my opinion, as well. And I know Aldo's career has already been defined, but a win over Max Holloway would, I'd have to put Aldo one notch above where he already is at in the history of MMA. That's it for this one. If you liked the video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at MMA Boxing Talk 1. Peace.